back, and so we've already talked about the lowest level of the Earth's atmosphere, which is called the troposphere, and then we talked about what the stratosphere was and the ozone layer, and then on top of the stratosphere is another layer called the mesosphere, and on top of that's another layer called the thermosphere, and on top of that is finally the exosphere, which goes all the way into outer space. Well, if you combine the exosphere with the thermosphere, those two combined are going to be called the ionosphere. And so we want to mention some things that goes on in the ionosphere. So the ionosphere is a place where atoms are being ionized. So up in the ionosphere, you've got oxygen and nitrogen. So those are the two prevalent types of elements that are in the Earth's atmosphere. And so when X-rays and gamma rays from the sun enter through our atmosphere, they knock off electrons off of those atoms that are up there, the oxygen and the nitrogen. So they're ionized, and so that's why we call it the ionosphere. So this is a really good thing. So the ionosphere is kind of like a shield that protects the Earth against dangerous X-rays and gamma rays. Okay, then another thing though is that as soon as those electrons get knocked off, they tend to reattach. And when they reattach, they give off light. And so in this picture here, which is taken from the International Space Station, you can see the glowing part of the ionosphere. Now, another thing about the ionosphere is that radio waves bounce off of it. And so depending on whether it's daytime or nighttime, the ionosphere can either be high in the atmosphere or it can lower down a little bit at nighttime. And then what can happen is that radio waves bouncing off that ionosphere can allow you to be able to pick up radio signals from very long distances away. So if we're in North America, we can pick up radio signals from Cuba or something like that. Okay, now let's talk about the Earth's magnetosphere. So this was named after a Marvel comic book character named Magneto, and no, that's not true. I'm just making that up. All right, so the magnetosphere is going to be Earth's magnetic shield. And this is going to protect us against incoming cosmic rays and also things that are coming in from the solar wind. So these are high energy particles, and then when they interact with the Earth's magnetic field, they spiral down on the northern part of the magnetic field and the southern part of the magnetic field. And as they're spiraling, they're bumping into air molecules, and they are going to cause those air molecules to begin to glow, and then that's what the auroras are, the northern auroras and the southern auroras. And so I've got a little video here, Earth's Magnetic Shield by NOVA, if you want to watch that. So just think about this, that Earth's atmosphere protects us against ultraviolet light, X-rays, gamma rays, and particle radiation that would otherwise be very harmful to life on Earth. Okay, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what heats up the atmosphere.